Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello, my name is Nicole and I'm so happy you're here. So, you can probably see by the title of this video, it is all about waiting / how I'm feeling, and all that. So, if you're new here, I am a recent graduate of Indiana State University. I just got my undergrad. I did Bachelor of Science, concentration in elementary education, and then I did get a minor in reading. Sorry, there's like a noise outside. I think it's just a bird, Eli. Hey, I think it's just a bird. Eli's on my bed. He's my dog, our family dog. But so I just graduated and I'm kind of transitioning, hopefully finding a teaching job soon, which I might have an announcement soon, but I have been trying to keep it a secret, just until like everything's a little bit more set in stone. But other than that, nothing too big is happening in this time. And that's kind of like what I want to talk about, is that I feel like lately I have been in this season of waiting, which isn't fun, like at all. So even though I graduated, I literally got all A's and B's in school, in college. I worked my butt off. Like, I passed student teaching. My supervisor came 6 times. He like passed me every time. My host teacher, she passed me. She knew I was going to be a strong teacher, so she thought I was good. Well, in the state of Indiana, which pretty much any state, I really don't know any state that like just isn't like this, but they have different kinds of tests, where I have to take 6 different tests to, actually no, 5 different tests to become a licensed teacher in the state of Indiana. And again, like, I still did have to get my degree, but it's still kind of pointless, I feel like, at times, just because like this literally means nothing, I feel like, because I still can't do anything with it. So I have to take 5 tests and I've only passed 1, which is the math portion. So basically I have to take this big elementary education one. I have to take a math one, so elementary, math, reading and language arts, social studies and fine arts, and then science, health, and PE. So I have to take all those to pass. But I've not been able to pass. Like, I have consistently been taking these since I think February, and I just cannot pass. And then when you fail, you have to wait 30 days in between each one to take it, and it costs money every single time you take it. And it's just really hard, because it's just like not like what I thought I would be at. Again, like, I'm just not a good test taker, and I know that, and it's frustrating and hard because these tests is what's determining me if I can be an Indiana teacher. And it's just, it makes me so mad and frustrated, and it's just, I just feel so defeated after every test when I don't pass them. And I'm not trying to like make this video where like I'm throwing like a little pity party for myself, because like I know like I like talk to my friends about this, especially if they're like Ella teachers, you know, like Maddie, my best friend from college. She passed all of hers the first time she took them, which I think is awesome. She's just a good test taker. And I think that's like what it boils down to, is that like I can study, but it's just, you gotta know the system, and I just don't know the system, unfortunately. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of in the season of waiting, and I feel like I really didn't think I was. And then I started reading Acts, the book of Acts, this past week. It's Friday, and I just started reading it. Whoops. And it kind of talks about, I'll look it up real quick. So in Acts 1, you know, like Jesus has came down from heaven for 40 days. Like, his 40 days is up. So he tells them, so in Acts 1 verses 4 through like 8, it talks about, so this is whenever Jesus was about to go back up into heaven because his 40 days was up. So while he was with them, he commanded them not to leave Jerusalem. I cannot say that word. And if you watch my video, you know I cannot pronounce words. Funny story about that. One day I like teach Sunday children's church sometimes at church, and I had to help a student help me pronounce that word one day. Okay. So if you watch my like couple last videos, you know I cannot pronounce words. So he commanded them to not leave Jerusalem. I have to break it down. Okay, I'm leaving this in. I'm making fun of myself. Okay, leave it in. But to wait for the Father's promise, which he said, "You have heard me speak about. For John baptized with water, but you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit in a few days." Yeah. So in that like part, he's telling them to wait. Like, you just have to wait. And I know through all of this, like, Jesus is faithful. Like, he didn't bring me through these 4 years of school. I feel like, personally, I pray that, like, this isn't what I'm supposed to do with my life. I pray that teaching is, because I love teaching, and it's just something that I see myself doing for a very long time. But, yeah, if he doesn't see me, then I don't know. But I still feel like that I'm called to be a teacher, and that this is just a time in my life of where I need to just wait. And that through all of this, he is still faithful. Like, and it can be frustrating, you know, like at times, you know, when I like take these tests, I'm like, okay, I prayed about it. I literally will listen just to worship music on the way to the test, like have like a full worship moment. And it's like, but that isn't like what like God is, you know, that's not who he is. Like, he's not going to grant you those things just because I did all those things. And I think that's just kind of like what it brings, you know, you're back to your roots, that just because, you know, you're a follower of Christ doesn't mean your like time is going to be easy. It just means that you're going to have somebody there with you at all times. And I think I've really have had to go back to my roots and remember that this past, and that's kind of like what I was telling my coworker about it, and then he's like a believer and everything, and we were talking about it, and I was just like, I finally just realized that I'm just in a season of waiting, and I don't exactly know what that means, but hopefully, like, you know, like, and there will be a good out of it, whatever it is. But yeah, so that's just kind of how I've been feeling about like my season of waiting, and it is hard, like whatever you're going through. And another thing of like a season of waiting, I feel like, is if you're in your 20s, you know, this is a weird time. And if you're like not in your 20s, I don't really know I think like my age group is like my age, the people that watch my videos. But you know that, you know, people are like, your friends are getting engaged, they're getting married, and I'm not there at all. Like, again, in my couple last videos I talked about, I've never had a boyfriend, so like, and it's so weird because it's hard at times, because I have like 5, I think I calculated it, and I have 5 weddings altogether this year, 2021. And it's like, I've never been on a first date. So, and it is hard, you know, again, in that situation, it is hard in the season of waiting, like having to watch all your friends get married and move on into that chapter of their lives when you're not there yet at all. So I think just like your biggest thing to remember through all of this is that he is faithful. Everything happens for a reason, and that you're not alone through this. And I hope you have friends that like support you through all of this. Even though Maddie has passed all of her tests, like, she has supported me unending. All my other friends have supported me. Like, it's just been awesome, their unending support. And kind of going back to that is, I have to apply for an emergency license which really isn't that uncommon in the state of Indiana. So on July 1st, which will be in like 5 days, I will be applying for an emergency license to teach. So that's just kind of what's going to be happening there. And yeah, I take the reading one next week, and then on Monday, today's Friday, June 25th, I take the reading one on Monday, and then the following week I take the social studies one. So the social studies and reading one, I'm like right there. I know I am. So I just took the elementary one again this past Monday, didn't pass. And then last week I took the week prior to that, I took the science one and didn't pass. So that's just kind of where I'm at on that. But so, and then another thing I kind of wanted to talk about, I just have a lot on my mind, honestly, at this point in my life. You guys are the only ones that are going to listen, hopefully. Is that this is such a hard time after college. OMG. Like, it is so hard because your whole life is just transitioning. And I feel like no one prepares you for this moment. And me and my friends have talked about this, that have graduated college, and we're just like, we just get hit with so many emotions. Like, we're so happy we graduated, but we're so sad that we never will get to be in class with each other again. We're so happy we're like getting a big girl job, but we just don't get to see each other. And I think that was kind of like how I was with like when I was leaving my kids, my students. You know, I was with them from the end of August till the end of April. And yes, I was so happy to be done with student teaching. I was so happy to move on to the next chapter of my life. But it was so sad leaving them. And I just feel like you just get hit with like so many emotions during the day. You just don't know how to act. I will say lately I have been better. But like a couple weeks ago, I moved officially out of my college apartment. And I cried on the way home. Like, I cried like halfway home. Half of the trip home, I was bawling because I always knew. I was like, okay, when I moved out in May, I was like, okay, coming back in August. And this time you're not coming back in August. And it was so sad that I wasn't going to be doing that. And I had to say bye to Kaylee. I only got to have a year with her, and she was like my best friend this past year. And my roommates, like I finally had good roommates to live with. And it's just really hard. And I'm glad I'm an elementary major because I couldn't imagine like getting a job like right after college, like going into the workforce like some people did, because I just don't even think I could handle that. I feel like I would just sit there and cry every day at work because it's just a lot. And I know like coming August, hopefully I'll have a job, and you know, like I know I'm going to be stressed and I'm going to have a lot of emotions and it's going to be hard, but I'm going to love every minute of it because I love teaching and I love seeing the students and getting to know them. But it is a lot. Like, it's just a lot at this point. And I just feel like no one prepares you for this moment of your time. And I'm glad that, like, I have my parents, even though, like, they never really went through this before. And my brother, he kind of, like, moved on quickly into his life of being engaged and getting married and everything, so he never really experienced I don't know, I mean, I feel like he did experience maybe it. He did, because he told me he cried. He did cry whenever he like finished college, because it was, you know, like college consumes your life, school consumes your life. And that's like another thing. Me and my roommate Kaylee were talking about it because she's an art education major, and we're like, it's so weird because for 22 years, well, like probably from like 5 to 22, you're in this routine of school, and now like you just don't have that routine anymore. So I'm glad as an education person I still have that routine and that I still can carry on in my life and have like the structure of it, because I feel like that would be another thing where I could not handle that kind of change and that kind of move transition. But I'm glad I'm getting like a couple months off to like kind of just get my life pulled together, get my thoughts pulled together, emotions pulled together, and just everything all in my ducks in a row and life figured out. I really don't have life figured out, but I'm trying to enjoy it. But yeah, so that's just kind of how I've been feeling lately. And yeah, I think that's really it. This was a big rant. I just kind of wanted to share like the life after college and the waiting process. It was like what I've really been going through. So if you guys want to pray for me for these tests, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, I didn't post this video just to have like a little like self-pity party, because I'm not. I just wanted to be honest, and I know probably someone else is going through the waiting process, or they can't pass their test, so they have to get an emergency license and everything. So, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at NicoleGriffith_YT. I feel like I've been posting a lot more over there, so especially on my story, so definitely go check it out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.